Hi, I'm Kara-Leah from the Yoga Lunchbox, and today I want to share with you an experience that I had last week, which I suspect may have radically altered the direction of my life. It was Sunday, and I just taught yoga rhythms with my good friend and awesome DJ Ria, and it was another fantastic event. We had people show up and they loved it, and it was amazing. And yet it was also another event where we didn't walk away with any money, and because I earn my living through teaching yoga and through writing and bits and pieces here and there, and I'm a single mum, so I'm sort of doing it around the outside of, parenting my child. I put a lot of work into that particular yoga rhythms, a lot of energy into the organisation and the promotion and the prep and then the actual teaching. And even though it was a success because everyone enjoyed it and it was an amazing experience to teach it, when I got home that Sunday afternoon, I can feel it now, I just felt enormous emotion coming up, this sense of, I just can't do it anymore, I give up. Because it was not just that yoga rhythms, it was so many other things that I have launched or run or organised or promoted where I'm trying really hard to use my skills and talents as a yoga teacher or as a writer in order to earn enough money to pay rent, and I'm trying this, I'm trying that, and I'm doing that, and I'm this energy of, And that Sunday I was just like, fuck, I just give up. I just don't care anymore. I just can't do it. It's just not working. I've been banging my head against a brick wall, like all these closed doors for so long, and it was just this overwhelming sense of giving up, and a lot of tears, because it's a long-held dream, like it's my passion, it's what I do, it's who I am, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and by now, thanks to the yoga, I know this is good, that it's okay to just allow the emotion to come up. And as it came up, I was really mindful of not attaching a story to it, of not making it anything other than what it was, which was just, I give up. And I woke up on Monday morning and I was still crying, bits and pieces, not full on, but just waves would come through. And I posted on my Facebook page, I kind of debated it a bit, should I not? But I did, I just put, I give up. And instantaneously I had phone calls and texts and messages come through from friends who were worried about me, which was really heartwarming, to know that people, they didn't just leave a comment, they actually picked up the phone and they made a call or they sent a text. And yet once they spoke to me, they realised that, oh no, this is the next stage in the process. This is a good thing. Because even in the midst of it, oh my God, it was just such relief. There was such sweetness to those tears of knowing that I don't have to push anymore, that this is not the way, that it doesn't have to be like this, and this really deep trust that there is another way, and I don't even care what that way is. Like at that time, I'm like, I don't care what I do anymore, I just don't care, I just let go of it all, I let go, I let go, I let go, I surrender. And so that was last week, it's about a week ago now. And a couple of things arose out of that as I was doing that deep letting go, deep letting go, deep letting go. And one of them is I realised how incredibly distracted I have been by my quest for success, like personal success, and also my quest to earn money. Now obviously I have bills to pay, right? We all have bills to pay. And those bills of mine, they continue to get paid through, there's things coming in. I just ran a book sale and that made me some money that I can pay bills with. But I realised that I had fallen into that trap of focusing on trying to make more money, like not accepting that my needs were going to be met by doing my work and just trying to make money, trying to be successful. And in that distraction, I'd lost myself, I kind of lost this, like the world, like what really matters. I'll come back to that. The second thread that arose for me is, for a long time, I've had this belief that because I'm teaching yoga and writing about yoga, that is my dharma, and it's something that I know I do well. And it's serving the world, because I believe that the more people who practice yoga and meditation, the more people would wake up, the more people that would begin to realize the true nature of the world, and then our experience of this world would shift. And so it felt like I was doing what I was meant to do in order to play my part in facilitating the shift that is happening already. And yet, even as yoga and meditation has exploded and more people are doing it, I'm beginning to question my underlying assumption there. I don't know if it's enough for people to practice yoga and meditation. I don't know if waking up is enough. And I don't know if what I've been doing, as in teaching yoga and meditation, is enough. And that's another thread that's coming through really strongly. And partly because when I look out at the yoga industry, I don't see a whole lot of deep conversation or deep action around social justice. There is little bits here and there, no doubt about it. There are some amazing teachers doing some great work. There's some studios who do good things. But in general, considering the underlying, underpinning philosophy of yoga, like the whole thing, right, is that we are not separate, that we are all one, that I am you and you are me. And from that standpoint, when you feel that, and when you believe, it's not a belief, screw the beliefs, we're moving beyond those, right? It is a knowing, and when you're coming from that place, the entire way that you interact with the world changes, and the way that you do what you do changes. And yet I don't see that change coming out of the yoga community as a whole right now. I don't see that being lived yet, and maybe it's coming. And so I began to contemplate, what more can I do? Like, based on who I am and the skills and the talents that I have, how can I further facilitate this shift that is already happening and will happen if we take action from a place of being? There lies the paradox. I'll go into that in a different video. So that thread was coming up for me as well, that I had been distracted via personal success and earning money, and I had lost my center of being almost through that distraction, in a sense that there is actually more that I can be doing, that what I'm doing through teaching yoga, practicing yoga and writing about yoga is not enough. The giving up was amazing, like such relief, such enormous, heartfelt relief. That I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I don't know what direction to move in. I don't know where rent's coming from next week. Don't really know, and I'm okay with that now. I just don't give a fuck, to tell you the truth. I just don't care anymore. I don't, it's just like, no more bullshit is the energy that arises. And that was Sunday, Monday. And then on Tuesday I found out that a good friend had died. So there was more tears that day, as you can imagine, And we'd had some really deep conversations, this friend and I. And one of the things that we discussed was this underlying fear or anxiety that most of us have around survival, and how, we wake up in the middle of the night not knowing how we're going to earn money, or not knowing how we're going to support our family, or not knowing what to do, and that fear and anxiety can just rule our lives. And he and I had discussed that, and it was really illuminating for me to hear his experience of that fear, because his material circumstances were very different from mine. A lot better, like he was materially a lot better off, and yet his experience of that fear was far more intense than me. And we looked at that, in the way that it wasn't logical, rational, but yet there it was, this deep underlying fear. And so this is another thread that's coming up for me that I'm beginning to understand is this deep fear of survival that so many of us have. And it's warranted in many cases, you know, like how are we going to survive? Somehow in that giving up and that surrender, it's like I don't care anymore. Because I know that I will survive, and it's not that I'm going to stop doing my work per se, it's that I'm going to stop pushing to earn money from it. And instead I'm going to focus on doing deeper work, better quality work, and work that really starts to look at or address what's happening in the world and what role I can play in what's happening in the world. What role I am already playing and how I can expand that role. So paradoxically, out of the giving up, there was this spaciousness, there was a lot of emotion, there was my friend's death, and that was an amazing experience to show up for the people that I only knew him for a few months, and yes, we're deeply connected, but obviously my loss was not nearly as great as those that have known him for 10, 15, 20 years, or his parents. And showing up for those people and just being with them in that time was a really powerful thing for me, because I realised that I'm in a place now where I can open to the fullness of emotion, and no matter how strong that emotion is, that where I sit in my being is untouched. It's untouched. And that's a really powerful place to be in, so that you're no longer run by feelings per se. And obviously it's not that I'm a master at it or anything, it's just that I'm beginning to notice that it's something I've learned over the years through the work that I've done. I'm not quite sure how to end this. This is the beginning though. This is the beginning of a brand new journey for me. And I am at heart a communicator and a writer. That's what I do. And I'm going to be sharing this journey with you. Just to give you the benefit of my insight maybe, or so you can see what I see or look at what I see and see what it looks like from your perspective. There is that old saying they use in Alcoholics Anonymous, let go and let God. And it's part of the yogic philosophy as well. I don't know the Sanskrit for it. I can't even tell you if it's a yama or a niyama. I always forget. But it is one of those things. And it begins with Ishvara. But I know the essence now. The essence is surrendering to life, where you're no longer directing it. You're no longer in charge. There is such relief in that, there is such relief in that. I'm still an agent of action. I will still be taking action, but it's from a different place inside of me, arising from a different place. So thank you for listening and watching, if you made it all this way. Stay tuned. There will be more. My name's Kara-Leah, and you can find me at the Yoga Lunchbox.